Radha Swami. Welcome to the Satsang. The true Satsang is a company of the master. The way as we explain the true Satsang is the company of Satpurush. I refer to perfect living master. As some call PLM. This is someone who, during his life, some are born, some during the life they become aware, or they reach the total state of consciousness, as you will refer. So, in Sant-Mat or Sutra Yoga, we refer to that generally as a Sachkhand or true home. With PLM, that goes beyond that. So generally, there are not the static states of consciousness, Alaka, Gama, and Anami, or Radha Swami. We refer this to these masters as they operate from, how should I explain, from that region. This is not the end. There are states of consciousness beyond that too. This cannot be explained here through words or referred to. These are referred to different expression of the being. So once we reach, let's call this, we reach Sachkhand, and the process between Vanvargufa and Satlok and all that, individuation of the soul, and we realize that. Then there's the process of the merging. The process of merging into Satpurush, I call that true initiation. That is the true initiation, merging into Satpurush. We're speaking about states of consciousness, or states within the consciousness. But that's where name and form and color as expression ends. These principles do not operate beyond Sachkhand, Satlok. So when some of these masters, they try to explain these different states of consciousness, they usually use metaphors. Or they will say, neti, 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 not this, not that. This cannot be explained in words. Excuse me. The spoken words, which we call varanatmic, the inner we refer to as a dunatmic. So the spoken words can express only so much. But please understand that when you get to these higher regions, this may or may not be the case, as you understand here. The names and the forms or mantras or anything like that, this may be expressed differently. So when you hear all this journey of the soul, so to speak, through these regions, from the lower region to the higher region, so journey of the soul with the master and all this, and you have to understand that once you reach the specific region, the discovery may be a little bit different about. So these are also like a metaphors. So in a sense, let's say one of the big metaphors will be Mahashun or Mahashunya. You can experience this totally differently than what your mind is thinking right now. Now, I'd like to explain a few things because it is about 2.5 years after Mr. Puri passed away. So I personally, I was waiting about until now. It's about 2.5 years, and I was observing what is happening with many people who I know the names. And the sun god left after Mr. Puri passed away. And different claims people make, and this and that. So we're about 2.5 years now, and all that has been fulfilled. All the characters in this play, like in the Shakespeare play, they show themselves. So you may know them or you may not know them. I do know them. For many different reasons. One of the reasons because Master explained that to me, and Grace, what's going to happen. There will be claims made and this and that and this and that. So some time ago, I said I will bring you up to the date a little bit more in the future, and this is the day today. I plan to do this during the Bandara, and keep doing that kind of step by step. I'm not trying to unload all this in the one time, overwhelm anybody, or some of you may, some of you may not be overwhelmed. So even by simple information. Excuse me. Grace just thank you, Grace. She's taking care of me, I'm so lucky. So where do I start? First, I want to thank you for attending the Satsang. And I want to thank Gunjan for the new video. Incredible. I think we're going to play some of your videos at the Bandara when we're there. This is like a huge TV. Well, I think that we're just going to hook up and play some of that. Instead of Sana Marvi or anything like that, we're just going to play what you did, I think. So, but anyway, my life or my connection to the Master go beyond this life. You will call this past life. So there's a connection between Mr. Puri and me back. Some people know about that. Some people don't. Now this is Mr. Puri explaining. Now I will not tell you what that is for my own privacy, but I want you to be aware that something like this exists. In that sense, we all have a connection here. Whoever's in the satsang, there's a connection between us. You can call this karmic connection if you like. There's a lot more to that. Karma is a really very limiting concept, but this is as best as we usually explain. There's a lot more to it. So in this life, it was predestined for me to meet Mr. Puri as Mr. Puri in this life. And this happened. And from the first second, there was recognition. I explained this experience, when I went to see him. He looked at my eyes, I look at his eyes, and we were just looking in each other's eyes. Go, oh, He didn't say the word, and I didn't say a single word. And all we did, and we just shake our hands. That was it. No single word. And I just took prasad from him. After that, the many things happened. Master put me through many different tests and different coaching. I guess you can, I don't know if that's a good word, coaching, but I guess you can call that coaching. This took, he had to really speed it up, all this process with me. It's not because of the master, because the way I was, I am. So I was always, I will see him just about every time. So if I went for satsangs or for some workshops, usually we went every month to Chicago, so later Grace and I will always have an interview, just about. I remember in the beginning, I would like write down, but about between 20 and 30 interviews, I stopped counting after that. So that's master gave me a lot of time. And please understand, when you have an interview like we had with Mr. Puri, when you had that interview, that is also interview or was with the great master. So I have to thank Mr. Puri for giving me so much time. There was a very close group to the master one time. That was in 2020. February. I think it was, you were there. But anyway, master said that I gave more time to Cezary than to anyone else. That's what he explained then. He said that. Those are words of my master. So my grace goes to my master, that he allowed me to be and spend so much time with him. I'm trying to explain something to you. It's not like I'm trying to impress anyone, because I'm trying to give you some idea what was going on and what is going on now in reference to my seva I do. Now, that doesn't count the time we spent personally with the master. Privately. I mean, we spend a lot of private time. We travel with him, even to India as a personal guest. This was very important for me, because I originally was supposed to go to China. Master had the plans for me, but because of what happened, that did not work out. So we went to India with the master. There was many things for me to learn though in India. So this was a necessary trip for me. And I learned tremendously when I was in India from the master also. He revealed incredible things to me and Grace at the time. So if we didn't go to India, who knows? But since we went to India with him, you know, we will usually stay in the same accommodations. We will have a breakfast and lunch, or you know, before he was doing satsangs, these different towns in India. I had the opportunity to ask him most important questions I could ever ask. Questions of eternity, questions from this world all the way to Sachkhand. And he revealed many things to me and Grace. We were fortunate because if we had a breakfast, Diane, she went to get some food for the master, so it was just a Grace master and I at that point. So I was able, he was usually sitting next to me on my right side, so I was on his left side. So I was, and this was kind of more relaxed. I could really ask him some serious questions, and he really revealed many things. But he also revealed many things during stay with him in Las Vegas. That may be like a whole week, you know. I'm not talking about like half a day or dinner. So, and before Toshi passed away, of course, Toshi was there too. So we learned incredible things from Toshi. We will be sitting with Toshi in Bellagio, for example, and Toshi will tell us the whole life, you know, share with Grace. You know, Toshi and Grace were best friends. And I met Toshi when that was in Cosmopolitan, I think. They rented they invited us, and they had this huge suite in Cosmopolitan for us, and we were just like, whoa. So we walk in and then Toshi is sitting, you know, and Master, you know, came down to the lobby to help us. So this is just a little part what we even share with anyone. And this continues to today. So Master make these arrangements for Grace and I out of his own volition. We were invited by the Master. You know, Master will call us, well, you know, here, can you come over? You know, and we said, hello, you know, of course, you know. So we had this, because we were like maybe 5 hours or 4.5 hours from Las Vegas, so we can drive there, you know, that's not a big problem. And we met about just everyone closest to the Master. We literally actually met everyone, okay? So I was having these interviews with the Master during years, and I will ask him something, and he would just always smile, right? He was just always looking at my eyes and smiling, you know, and I said, oh, this whole thing is gonna end differently. And I knew it, I knew it before I met the master, because I was sent to see him by the great master. Hazur Baba Savan said, I was sent to Mr. Puri. So now people seeing this outside, what's with Cezary, even president went to the master, complained about, that people did not understand. So why Cezary? Why would master see me? His schedule was tremendous, as you all know. Those who were there, they were cutting time down to 3 minutes at the end, right, for interviews. Before that was like a 5 minutes interviews. But please understand that I don't think that this as I was just taking someone else's time. In that sense, because even what I'm doing this now, this is all connected and connected to the life before my life, this life, me and the master, Mr. Puri. So to make the story short, in 2019, we were again in Las Vegas. I think from 29 of December to 6 of January. The master was there too, of course. And many things were happening. But in the end, it was just, it was us with the master. So master had 2 tickets to Westgate for New Year's Eve. And one ticket was for himself, and the other ticket was for Toshi. But Toshi passed away, so master had this one ticket left. And there was no other tickets available for the show. It was all, sold out. This is a very famous place for the New Year's Eve. To make the story, how this happened, and there's many things in between this. But it ended up that I went with the master for that celebration. No one else. Just master and I. And this was designed that way because during that time, master revealed many things to me. This was a celebration. You have like a reception 1 hour, and dinner, and there was a show, different bands playing. I mean, very, very high class, So I learned tremendous things during that time. But later on, master did not spare me the learning process. It was all just evolving more and more. So during second part of that first week of 2020, now, because now we're over the New Year's Eve, you reveal a lot more. And it's not like I was surprised, but to be hit, to actually be in the middle of it, that's a totally different. So 99% of that is for me, of course. Between me, Master, and I. And Grace, she was a witness to many of it. And I received my seva from my master. And for some reason, I agree to do it. So you may say, what was I thinking, you know? And this was confirmed on January 5th by the master. And on January 6th, this is when he wrapped everything up, you know. So I have my instructions. So in reference to the seva I do, this has to do with my master and the great master. So we went in February, I think, again there was a satsang. It was still open to the public, satsang. So we spent time with the master privately at the time, quite a time. I also had what I call my first satsang. And master was sitting next to me on my left side. You know, it was very small. So this is the first time he asked me to speak. I was in February 2020 in Chicago. And with everything that is going on later, you know, the travel restrictions and so on, Grace and I, we went back in July. We went back to Chicago area because we were ready to pick up the car. You know, the master, Toshi, has the limousine, which I received around December or so. But but anyway, so we didn't have a opportunity how to pick up. You know, it's a huge, like a 22 feet long car, and this is the limousine which master bought for Toshi. 1988 Lincoln Continental custom made, you know, limousine. And so Grace and I, we were there about 3 days. Master house, Penny Lane, right, in South Barrington. So we seen the master, of course. You can imagine, you know. But anyway, at that time, a master wrote something for me. And I received that from him. Now, this is written in his own house by his own hand and signed by Mr. Puri. Dated July 20, 2020. I have that in this. I have this in the house, and I have a copy above my fireplace of it. And just in case, you know, that's something you want to lose. because this may be one of the most precious things in my possession, in that sense, because it's strictly written to me. So this nobody knows. The Grace is the only one who ever read that. What's written by the master. But maybe after I die, this could be shown. Not before that. And the words what master wrote, they will overwhelm. They will totally overwhelm you. They are still overwhelming to me, and I read them many times, especially 2 years ago. And these are written by his own hand. During so that was the last time we seen master in physical form, I mean, at the time there was a picture made, actually pictures. Master called us by master's house, in Barrington. He called that what? Historical pictures. Now we never published those pictures, never shown anyone. But this is the time when Grace and we received the darshan and trishti and blessings from the master and the great master, Hazur Baba Savansen. And this is a special because master asked for us to come over next day so he can prepare all this. So yeah, I remember he asked, what time are you guys? I said 9 o'clock, right? So next day with by his house, and this is what happened. Now the person who was taking the picture of us, he was overwhelmed because he witnessed what we witnessed. He witnessed the great master Hazur Baba Savansen giving blessing. So I remember Cezary, that was the great master giving the blessing. It was shocking, I mean, something like that is probably could be a real shock, would be a real shock, maybe. But to us, we were not, it was a huge grace of the master, but we were, how should I say, we were grateful, many times for this different blessings from the great master and my master. So going forward, I will skip the messages, like we have a messages with the master, maybe this and that. But towards November, I called the master from this house here. And then he was, we talk about a few things, but he said he's going to call me back, and he did call me back, you know. So I talked to him on the phone, and because now the time is getting closer. The time is getting closer. Master is, leaving. He was wrapping things up, which we knew from the year before. So
Because November was
No.
celebration and they were married. on
November was,
November 20,
yeah,
and 26 was his birthday.
yeah, 20, November 20th, the celebration of them when they got
Yes.
married, and then
The same day as
20
we did.
well, yeah, because we had a lot of different connections with the master, because Toshi and master, they got married on the same date like we. So the idea was to celebrate together, you know, master and Toshi and Grace and I, to just together, four of us, you know, the celebration. Well, anyway, that's another story.
On his birthday.
Yeah. So I contacted master, you know, and I contacted master and referenced what happened, you know, in January, to make the story, not to give too much away. So I contacted Mr. Puri, and he confirmed. He said yes. So on November 11th, master confirmed. I have a record of that, actually. He confirmed my seva. He will not let me go off the hook in that sense. And part of the because I asked him about this and that. This is for me, not for the satsang. And I asked him, should I stay, you know, in the cave? And he will not let me. His exact words are, I won't tell you all of it, the whole thing, but part of it is just, he said, you know, you've been in a cave before, he said, and you have a different mission in this life. These are his exact words, you know. And so that is the short version of my story and of my seva, okay? Now there's a lot more to this. The more details, and please understand, we spend with the master days, hours and days, you know, at the time. So this is just, I want you to understand why I am even doing this for my master, okay? It has nothing to do with my ego, because I haven't been seeking any seva like this. Was I, Grace? No. So this came from my master. Of course, when I was with him, he knew a lot more about me than I knew about Mr. Puri, right? But at one point, during many things, he revealed, these are way beyond this world. Let me put it this way, they're way beyond this physical world, or beyond the astral world, or anything like that. Can't just even compare to anything. And this was his doing it, not like me forcing it. He did it. The great master and my master, Mr. Puri. That was this process was initiated by my master and the great master. I'm not saying this lightly, because this is a huge responsibility. I don't take this lightly in any way, because at least for myself, and I understand what that means, a responsibility, and the weight of it, of this responsibility. The weight is enormous. And maybe that's why he was so heavy. After all this, the master was so happy. Mr. Puri was so happy. He was smiling, and he was happy, like this whole mountain just fell off his back. I don't know how to explain that to you. Like, he was so happy about that. And I mean, literally smiling and laughing, and he was so happy. And I was happy too. But you know, I was happy. I was very happy for the master. I was very happy for him. Was I happy for myself? For the master? It's like you could see it literally. This whole release, you know. So on December, I'm referring this to first week, to the time first week of January 2020. Now on December 22nd, I was sitting with Grace here, and I said to Grace, Master is leaving tomorrow. I said to Grace that because last message I got, it was during the time, you know, from the master when he was in the hospital actually, and then I spoke to someone close to who was able to, you know, from the family. So he was getting better at one time, but on 22nd here, U.S. time, around during the day, I said, Master is gonna leave this world tomorrow. I said to Grace. I don't know how to tell her that. I mean, how do you say that? The master is gonna die tomorrow, right? And the next day on 23rd, master passed away. So Grace and I, we knew from the inner, you know, no one told us that. You know, that the master is gonna leave next day, and so he did. So this is the little story why we're doing what we're doing. There's many other aspects to this. What happened before master left and after master, before and after master, before dying, you know, so many things happened. So I'm simply Sevadar of my master. Whatever I'm doing in the Satsang is just a simple Seva. Seva for him. And Grace knows exactly what I am referring to, because she has her own Seva in this aspect, you know. And she takes that very seriously too. We both have to we both have to answer to the master and to the great master. These are only two we need to answer to by arrangement made by my master, Ishvarpuri Ji Maharaj, and by the great master, Hazur Baba Saransen Ji Maharaj. I do not, I'm trying to explain a few things because it's been 2.5 years for your own balance. But I don't have to do this. I'm just doing this on this forum for that reason. So master left the will, the one will is left with closest, this is the legal will, and there's a spiritual will, and that spiritual will, the master trusted Grace and I with. So this is why we're here. And then I agree. Those of us who knew Master, we were doing everything just to see him, right? Just to be in his presence. That grace of the Master, and he was so happy. And here you have a situation when Master is asking me, what can we do? I mean, what can you say? We going to the master this and that, can you this and that? Here master is asking you. What would you do? What will any true seeker do? I think most of you will say yes to. Whatever that meant in that sense. So, and I think I said more than once, more than on one occasion, actually. So, I am a Sevadar, just like you are Sevadars, Yeah. Just like you're Sevadars, and the true Seva is Seva of love, spiritual love. And that kind of Seva doesn't give you much margin. So there's zero margin for error in that sense, because he trusted me, and Grace is a witness with how should I even explain that? I can't. So when I speak at the satsangs that we speak about, we trust in the master 100%, right? But this is total reversal of that. Master trust in you 100%, 1000%. This is not just here, the repercussions of every decision and the world are immense. So I will stop at this, and I will say maybe a few more things. Let's take a break, and after that, I may take some questions. But I would like to also add now that so decision is now, as of what, maybe 2 weeks or so, to go to the next step. And my master is very happy about it. He's very happy about it. He's smiling. So what do I know? But I am type of person which I'm hold back. Usually, I'm not like just go right away. I like to hold back, kind of forever, maybe if I could. But this he wants to evolve this. So the decision is that we're gonna have a Bandara in person this year, which I at one point was not planning yet for this year. But I do not have a choice about this. Although if I would like to hold back, I have no choice about this. So I have to fulfill that. And we're gonna have a Bandara in person. So we already paid the fee. I went with Grace there. So on 23rd, we have a place within the library, Sedona Public Library, which is a huge place, by the way. So we have this room within the complex. When on 22nd, we have 2 hours. And right now I'm planning to have interviews in person. Whoever chooses or wish to see me. And that will be on 22nd. On 23rd, which is the Bandara day, we have a 6 hours there. That's how they open. They open 6 hours a day. From 10 to 4. So we will be there. And then I haven't decided exactly how we're going to go about that, because that depends who is going to show up at the Bandara in person. So this Bandara, the interviews I have will be in person. I don't think I will have a time for Zoom interviews anymore at this time, because after the interviews, we're planning to go to lunch and have a Christmas celebration. Kind of whoever is gonna be here, we're just gonna find some place and just go out, have a Christmas celebration. You don't have to be Christian to celebrate that. So it's gonna take the whole day, and I'll be booked. I know that. Now the day after that, there are many things it will happen. I might have to arrange this according to that. Now we're planning still to have a satsang, and we will have a Zoom. We will have a live satsang, right? Live with the Zoom from the library, but that will be just a part of.
On the 23rd.
On the 23rd, that will be just a part. When I give a satsang, I will be giving satsang. Master will be giving satsang. My master. So I don't know the time frame. I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe 2. I don't know, because now I have many other things to be concerned about. So I don't know exactly. Or I may even have some more interviews on 23rd. That will be the Bandara day. But that all depends who is gonna come over. But whatever we're doing, it will be in person. This bandara has been decided, and see how much time we left for the celebration. The room is what, between 15 and 20 people or so. How many chairs? So we'll see how this, if it's gonna be just Grace and I and the master. Please understand that we always have a bandara in person, Grace and I. These arrangements will be made by my master before he died. So our bandara is always in person. So we're not worried about it. In that sense, are we gonna have a bandara in person or Zoom or anything like that? Grace and I, it's always in person. So depends how many people show up. We just go around that, and who's gonna show up. And I have idea. I have, but I don't want to go forward in time and explain things in the future. In that sense, see how this is gonna work. Grace is also very kind of, let's see how this is gonna work out. I would like to tell Grace exactly, this is gonna happen. This person is gonna come in. That person is gonna go. This one is sick. This one, And but the Grace is not. No, let's just wait what's gonna happen. And I think her approach is correct, because the women they think differently. They're more multitasking. A woman is multitasking, can do many different things at the same time.
50 people gonna come, we still have a chance to.
Yeah, but
the
big room, the big room over there is 400 people. Yeah, but that may be, who knows. But right now, this room, if you go on the website and you look at the pictures, this is the room with the orange chairs, inside. That this is a very quiet. Please understand, this is the library. It's a very quiet place. There are no noises, and this room is very quiet. And this is the room I'm planning to have interviews, one-on-one interviews. And my idea is whoever is going to show up, the length of interview will depends on how many people are even seeking the interview. I probably have a pranay standing outside the door. And we gotta, because, kind of like this, because the reason is we only have 2 hours, right? And we have to be out because someone else is coming that day. Some other people doing some different things, So we only have 2 hours from 10 to 12 for interviews that day. Now the other facilities in library, quiet places, if I need to talk to someone after that, there are huge options, because this is a huge place, so you can disperse. It's not like nobody's working and by the stores. I will have a private environment to talk to someone, or someone talk to me seriously. This is totally different level. This is This is not like what we had bandara here, first year in the house. We're not planning, we're not having that. So thank you very much. I need to take a break. Somebody who's gonna stay, you're welcome to stay. 15 minutes.
That is.
Radha Swami.